Hi, Matt Welch here with 3Take Nick Gillespie. We're here for Ask a Libertarian 2012, marking the publication in paperback form of the Declaration of Independence. We are in lightning round for Nick mode. First question comes from the great state of Ohio. Joe Reardon asks, what's the most libertarian movie?
I'm going to say two things. The first is Legends of the Fall with Brad Pitt and Aidan Quinn. Spoiler alert, the climactic scenes ends with a U.S. congressman shooting a U.S. revenue agent during Prohibition era. It's fantastic. Very bizarre and kind of glossy Hollywood movie that is incredibly skeptical of government and government power. It opens with the patriarch of the family, Anthony Hopkins, leaving the U.S. Army, saying that governments are only there to kill people. He refuses to participate in the Indian Wars anymore. And then the other one is The Incredibles, which came out a few years ago and was widely, and I think accurately read as a kind of Ayn Randian homage about why we shouldn't force superior people, make them hide their talent or appear normal. I actually looked at that movie, and my favorite character was the supervillain, who I believe was called Syndrome. He was born totally genetically normal with no superpowers, but then he developed and created all of these cool gadgets and stuff to make himself into a superhero. And it strikes me that's the libertarian essence of that movie, of somebody who is born one way and transforms himself through their own imagination and innovation.
I would remind you, Nick, this is the lightning round.
Yes.
Have you noticed any libertarian themes in recent popular culture, such as music, movies, video games, or TV shows? Asks Ken Gillespie.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I mean, when you think of like very popular artists like Lady Gaga, the creative destruction built into her music, borrowing widely and wildly from all kinds of genres and genders and you name it. And that's across the board in a lot of popular culture. Video games like Grand Theft Auto and other types of things where you're engaging with people online and developing your own narratives. I think that's very libertarian in kind of impulse and essence. Shows like Boardwalk Empire, the great HBO series, again about prohibition and how it destroys a society and makes it horrible. My favorite current TV show is Eagleheart on Adult Swim with Chris Elliott, late of Get a Life. He plays Chris Monsanto, a U.S. sheriff, and it is a more kind of unnerving depiction of law enforcement, even than when Shaquille O'Neal used to tag along on TV with police forces doing SWAT raids. So it's all over the place.
You guys read a lot about pop culture. How does that affect politics? Asks FX Urquhart Wright.
Matt and I, a couple of years ago, we did a piece about how Dallas helped destroy Ceausescu in Romania. And it's one of the things that's important. A lot of conservatives gripe all the time that, every movie is liberal and all the people in Hollywood are liberal and there's a conservative blacklist. And if we could only make more movies about conservative themes, we'd win. That's not how culture works. The real way that culture works is by giving people a space and a place to imagine different lives and to take off the rack culture and tailor it to their needs. This is what happened in Ceausescu's Romania, where due to reasons that are too complicated to go into here, they were allowed, among very few Western products, they were allowed to watch Dallas on TV, and they saw in Dallas a possible future for themselves in which Ceausescu had to go, and believe it or not, Larry Hagman, who's a big limousine liberal, a horrible, horrible character in American politics, became an icon of liberation from just a horrible government. And think of that when you watch the new Dallas, which is premiering sometime very soon.
And he's a pitchman for Romanian oil companies, or even Russian oil companies in Romania. We have a chapter in this book called We're All Mutants Now that talks a lot about this culture, and other chapters throughout that talk about similar themes. This is Ask a Libertarian 2012. We're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon. Stay tuned.